Hello and welcome to Skills to Pay the Bills. We have another great show for you today. But before we meet our guests, I just want to take this time to thank you so much for all the emails that you have sent to us with your encouraging remarks. You know, we want to hear the good, the bad, and the ugly. You know, we appreciate you so much. And you can email us at skillstorock@gmail.com. Again, that's skillstorock@gmail.com. Our special guest today is Mr. Freeman Owen. Freeman is the CEO and president of Financial Sources, Inc. He is also an international traveler, giving motivational speeches and educating his audiences on finances and wealth empowerment. Freeman is a family man who is active in his church and in his community. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Freeman Owen. Freeman, hello.
Hi, how are you?
How are you today?
And fine. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure for you to be here. Well, we're going to get right into it. We don't have a lot of time this afternoon, so I want to get glean as much as I can from you. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your organization, Financial Sources, Inc.
Oh, okay. Been in business for about 35 years now, and our mission with Financial Sources, Inc. is to make sure that we conserve your assets, or I should say your nest egg, preserve it, such that it generates a lifetime income that you can't possibly outlive. Another great service that we offer is that we have ongoing seminars, wealth preservation seminars, to help individuals like yourself, our retirees and pre-retirees, which I specialize in making sure you cannot possibly outlive your income. We help by providing programs that will help reduce your taxes on your Social Security. Make sure that your beneficiaries are designated properly for your IRAs or your different types of employer-sponsored retirement accounts, such as TSPs and 401ks and 403bs, IRAs. So that's, as I mentioned, we've been around 35 years, and I am an independent agent here in the Washington metropolitan area, Maryland, Virginia, and DC. And so I will continue, because I love what I do, to aid those who wish to have guaranteed returns on their retirement income and prevent the IRS from taking most of your retirement nest egg.
Wow, that's a tall order.
It is.
Especially when you talk about an income that you don't have to die to use. I mean, that
you can't possibly outlive it.
You know, I want to know more about that. Can you talk a little bit more about
that?
Well,
the type of products that we offer have guarantees that are provided. They're guarantees based on the claims paying ability of different insurance companies. I might want to add a disclaimer too while we're having this talk. The information that I'm providing to you today,
yes.
I don't want you to, or the viewing audience, to construe it as investment, tax, or legal advice, because we don't offer legal, tax, or investment advice. It's simply educational and informational.
Right, information and education.
Exactly.
Right. That's it. That's the way to go.
So we do have various products, as I mentioned, and strategies, which we'll talk about a little later, and implementing guarantees for our clients. Now, speaking of guarantees, now everyone is talking about the fiscal cliff.
Yes.
All right. Well, the amazing thing about the programs that I offer to many of my clients, they don't have to concern themselves with it because they have contractual agreements with various insurance companies, which more or less guarantees that there is a minimum amount of interest, their principal is protected, and I will elaborate a little bit further on in the program.
Right, I want to hear more about that, about the principles being protected, because so often it's not, and like you say later on, we can get into that.
Yeah, the principle is protected, just like we protect, and I think it's a great idea to have the various types of protections in your life. For example, we insure our home. We insure our automobiles.
That's true.
And insure our lives. Why not insure and have some type of protection that most baby boomers, ages, if you're born between 1946 and 64, and your retirees who were born prior to those years, 1946, are concerned about outliving their resources, outliving their monies. So why not have protection against outliving your monies? I think that's
that makes sense.
Yeah, about 87% of the population who are ages 55 plus are concerned about, well, will I have enough money to live on and comfortably after I retire? So those are the key items that we focus in on at our firm. And the amazing thing is we do not charge fees.
That's a big one there.
That's a big one, yes.
Because I know in the past there had been a lot of legal issues coming up about some of the fees that were being charged.
Exactly.
In some of the investments.
What I want to turn to, I just wanted to share with you a few items that, or factors that impact our retirement. One is aging. We live longer.
Right.
Two is underfunded pension programs and the expense of various government programs such as Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. Those are major factors that impact your retirement. So if you take aging of America, I'll share this with you. Let's say I'll share this personal story.
Right. I like personal testimonies.
Being from the Midwest, my father worked in a steel mill. Alrighty, and in the 50s, he he worked at steel mill, bring his check home to my mother, and she managed a budget. It was my brother, my mother, and my father. That one check. Now, when he retired, alrighty, he was able to get to live fairly well with just a pension and his Social Security. My mother did not work. So today, since we're living longer, it's a different type of environment now. As far as retirement is concerned, we're living longer, 25 to 30 years of retirement. That's the type of retirement we had to prepare for. Back in the 50s and early 60s, a person or individual would retire and he would pass on maybe after 5 years, if he or she is fortunate, maybe 10 years after retirement. Right. So now we have to concern ourselves again with longevity risk. Right. We're living longer, better medical technology, so we're aging, and therefore we must have monies that will carry us through with a worry-free retirement. Right. And that is to make sure that we never outlive those resources.
Well, Freeman, does that mean that the products have had to change from back in your father's day? Because, I mean, I hear a lot of people talking about they have lost the shirts off their back. I know that, you know, I'm still working full-time, and we've got people that are over 70 that are still there. You know, the young folks are sitting back waiting on when they're going to retire so they can get some of these promotions. And my thought is that they can't afford to retire just yet because some of them have lost so much money in the products that they have been using, I guess, for years.
All right. There has been a lot of volatility and the Great Recession, but I'm proud to say that none of my clients lost a dime. Why? Because they have contractual agreements with an insurance company or insurance companies where they have been offered annuities, fixed index annuities, fixed annuities, which guarantees, again, go back to that principle, guarantees the principle. There are other guarantees that provide there's a minimum amount of interest, and when there's volatility in the market, the principle is definitely safe, and with these guarantees that are provided.